My name is Harry. I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Today is December 28, 2025. It is 2:55 a.m. This is video number 2. So let's go on Twitter. We're gonna continue. Let's get started. These men and women were full-on MAGA Trump supporters that voted for him all 3 times and will have done anything for him till now. They finally seen who Trump really is and have all decided that they will vote Democratic in the midterms because of what he has done to this country. The only reason some of these people are starting to see it, or I don't know, or forcing themselves to vote differently, is because all the things that they have built, okay, they have worked to have, even though the system was designed for them to benefit from, and there's Trump coming and destroy everything, is because it's affecting them personally. The reason why these things are affecting them personally is because African American are not on the street protesting and do all sort of the things that our forefathers used to do in the 50s, 60s, and so forth, so on, until 2020 about the Black Lives Matter. That's when it stopped, because these people were refusing to see and understand the thing that was going on in the country. So African American took a step back and said, okay, the last election was as clear can get. It was so given to see who was the better person to vote for. But no, they rather vote for a racist, a pedophile, xenophobe, you name it. We have seen his first presidency putting kids in cages. So African Americans said, okay, we're done. Even some Hispanic, despite they were affected personally during his first term, they still vote for him. So African Americans said, okay, we're stepping back. Alright, so let's listen to this. This is why these people are changing tune now. And even though as we're moving forward, okay, saying that, oh, we're gonna vote for Democrats and things like that, we need to pay attention to the person. Even though the person is a Democrat, we need to see his character. If he had run for office before, how did he govern? How did he use his position to make the people's life, or whoever district that he ran for, or whatever, or state that the person ran for, how did that person govern? Okay, it doesn't matter if the person is to a certain extent, yet it does matter, Democrat or Republican, but the final point is the person itself, the person. And another thing that I've said in the past is that those people who voted for Trump, when their great grandkids are looking back at our time to see how these people voted during this past election, 2024 election, to see their parents, their great grandparents, their ancestors voted for that and destroyed the country, these are not the things that their great grandkids will not be proud of. Because when you look at some of those TV shows where they look back at your ancestors, you see sometimes how some of those people sometimes feel so proud their forefathers, their great grandparents fought against the evil of the past. Okay, so in our lifetime, we are facing the evilness. It is up to us to leave a legacy when our great grandkids are looking back to see if we stood for what was right, despite the amount of negativity that was surrounded us. Did we stand up for the truth, for equality, for human right, for ethic, for understanding, compassion, and all of that? Is this what your great grandkids gonna look at? Okay, are they gonna feel proud of you when they look back, okay, at our time? So many of these MAGAs, they fell very, very badly. They only think of themselves now, that they will be benefit from it, and they don't think of the broader picture of how maybe, I don't know, let's say they have a son now, maybe the son will have daughters, and the next daughters will have daughters and daughters and daughters. You don't know how your offspring will benefit from the cruelty. Whenever cruelty presents itself, people should be aware to reject it, even if you're not benefit from it now, because this is a society we share with other people. We share it with other creatures that God have created. So we need to take consideration of everything, not just us. So these MAGAs, when their great grandkids are looking back to see how their great grandparents have voted during the 2024 election, they're gonna be very disgusted by it. You have people who's molesting kids, who's stealing money, doing all unethical behavior. Alright, so that's that. Let's get back to the original recording. Alright, let's listen. It's almost 2 minutes.
I just want to say to every American that's having trouble with this, I am sorry I voted for him. I regret it with all my heart. I feel like I've enabled this monster
Yes,
to
you did.
destroy democracy, destroy everything that is good in this country.
We've got a very crazy man driving the train, and he's going to kill this country.
And Anthony, are you voting a straight up and down Democratic ticket?
Not only there, I am actually for the very first time contributing across the board, across the country. And I've never, ever written a check or spent any money on anything political because I'm afraid. I'm afraid.
I've been a lifelong Republican since the day I turned 18. For the first time in my life, I'm going to vote a straight Democratic ticket. Is if they're connected to Donald Trump, they are not connected to me.
So you now are no longer a Republican
I am not, no.
because of Donald Trump.
Because of Donald Trump, it was no longer the party that I joined. It's morphed into something that's almost unrecognizable.
You were a lifelong Republican.
Right.
If somebody had told you, say 15 years ago, that you are preparing to vote a straight up and down Democratic ticket in the midterms, you would have said what to them?
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah.
So why are you now doing it?
To see Republicans not stand up to him, and the ones that do are just quitting.
I just think there's no values left anymore. There should be values. We have no values. He doesn't have any values. I thought he had
Oh my
values.
God.
No, I'm definitely voting Democrat. I've been knocking on doors. I got a clipboard.
You're even canvassing.
I am canvassing for a Democrat
That's
in
how
Wyoming.
strongly you feel.
I believe hardly anything the president says, but I do believe he's a danger to this country and to our
my
democracy.
I think, well, it's never too late, but still, it's very, very late in the game for these people to see it, because the amount of things that is going on. If you go on my community board, just skip the things about Harry and Meghan or the royal family. There are some articles that I've shared with you, things that's going on that Trump is doing. It's putting a lot of American lives in danger. I will not be surprised if at some point we get attacked, literally in this country. This is something American never experienced before, because when we declare war on other countries, we always go over there to their homeland and destroy their land. I will not be surprised at one point we get attacked over here. Well, we could see 9/11 might be one of those, but there was a video I did not too long ago, and I was like, how did we get to this from 9/11 to what we have now? Because when 9/11 happened, we had people all over the country, the world too, okay? I'm just focusing only on the US. People all around the United States went to New York to help What happened to these values that we had? It's like we're turning against one another. The mindset, the sponge of emptiness of these people's brain is unbelievable. Things were happening. They don't use their senses to see and feel things. We have to thank African American for that, because we took a step back. Okay, we took a step back. We then put our bodies in the front line to allow Trump to use that full capacity of martial law. He tried the ICE people that go in detaining people on the street. It's illegal, but it would have been worse if African American were on the street protesting. Then he would have used that to convince people like these in this video why he's doing the thing that he was gonna do. And these people will be just fine with it because it's not them. It's the others. It's African American. They always make it seem like African American are the problem. Okay? Don't get me wrong. Not all African American are the same, but a good portion of African American are good people, educated, and want what's best for the country as a whole. Alright, let's see here. I don't want to go too much on. There's this here. Okay, for the Cuban, I don't know what to say about the Cuban Americans. They were running from communism, and they came over here, and then they put something even worse than communists on. I don't understand. Alright, I'm just gonna focus on the video. Let's go to the next one. This is another MAGA type of topic. The entire video is gonna be about things that's happening in the US, okay? Alright, damn. She called him out in front of the Lord. There's the laugh here. It's 1 minute and 8 seconds. Screenshot, okay?
I was just 16 when you took my virginity on your office floor. Do you remember that? You did things to my teenage body that had never and should have never been done.
Sunday service went straight to hell in Indiana after a woman confronted Pastor John Lowe in front of the whole congregation at New Life Christian Church. Tempers started flaring after the pastor who tried to confess left out the fact that the victim was only 16 when it happened.
Did you do it? That's all we need to know.
Yes, we did.
You didn't tell them she was 14 years old.
No, at 16.
Sorry, 16.
She was 16 years old, okay? Okay, and it was wrong. I can't say it. I can't make it right. I can't make it any better.
And in a shocking twist, after his confession,
my
church
God.
members surrounded Pastor John Lowe in a prayer circle and offered him forgiveness.
Are you kidding
Police
me?
would eventually investigate, but because of the statute of limitations, no charges were filed.
My God. These people are using religion in the wrong way. Oh my God, he got away with it. And now the victim is scarred for life. It's almost like the Andrew thing. Wow. Fatigue, it's all of them, but always one of them. True, but then the people hug and pray for him. I don't understand the world anymore. I'm telling you, got me bricked up. Let me leave that alone. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Next tweet. So there's this here. Breaking. 3 18-year-old suburban predators charged with, there's the thing here, or APE, after gang, or APING, their own female classmate in a minivan at a high school graduation party. I don't know what to say about these young people. And look at the first video that I just showed you. Wow. And there's something that happened in Florida. I didn't share it because I didn't want to keep on blurring things. This guy who killed his stepdaughter. I think the stepdaughter is either life support or something like that. But then he ended up killing himself. But anyway, let's listen to this. The craziness.
3 were charged with sexually assaulting a classmate this past summer at a high school graduation party. 18-year-old Kevin Nemick remains behind bars tonight. The Prospect Heights man, along with 18-year-old Zachary Mascolo of Arlington Heights and John Clary II of Bartlett, have all been charged with felony criminal sexual assault.
So all of, I don't know, two of them were 18. I didn't hear the age for the last one. If all of them are 18, they're gonna charge them as adult. Okay? In the US, once you pass 18 years old, you are adult. Wow, the gang raped her. Wow, wow, wow. Shit.
For allegedly attacking a female classmate in a minivan in mid-June during a high school graduation party. The DuPage County State's Attorney says it happened in northwest suburban Roselle on June 15th. That's when police responded to a call about a sexual assault at a St. Vader High School graduation party the night before. According to the school, the accused and the victim are all graduates of the private Catholic school located in Arlington Heights.
What? A Catholic high school? Wow.
Following the assault, investigators say the victim went to a friend's house where she called her sister. Her sister then told their parents, who immediately picked up their daughter and took her to a hospital. Investigators say all three men were in a minivan with a female classmate and that they allegedly took turns sexually assaulting her inside the vehicle. A judge issued arrest warrants for them. In a statement, a spokesperson for St. Vader High School expressed sadness about the incident, saying in part, the gathering which gave rise to the alleged criminal conduct took place in Roselle at a private, non-school sanctioned event that was not sponsored, organized, supervised, or authorized by St. Vader High School. The safety, well-being, and dignity of our students are of utmost importance to our entire community. During the first court appearance, a judge ordered that Nemec remain in custody until his trial, while the other two charged were granted pretrial release with conditions and allowed to go home. All three men are due back in court next month. Reporting from Northwest Suburban Roselle, Evelyn Holmes, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Young kids. Wow. Their life is done pretty much. Wow. Let's see, a savage. Yet, we know when the term is usually used, death penalty. I don't know if this will be death penalty, especially if they're white, they're not gonna do that. But something to pay attention to see how much prison time they're gonna have. Okay, so not drag queen, LGBTQ, or people of color, straight white male. Alright, so let's leave it as that. Let's go to the next one. Alright, next tweet. Let me pause this. DOORDASH white girl lost for words after first court appearance. She went into a customer's house where he was passed out naked on the couch, took pictures and posted them on social media, and called the police to say she was sexually assaulted. White people are supporting her. But did they do any tests to see if there was any, bodily function in her body? Alright, let's listen to this.
For the people that supported that DoorDash girl, I want y'all to look at this.
The Oswego City judge allowing News Channel 9 to record the proceedings. The first look at 23-year-old Olivia Henderson outside her popular TikTok page.
Their front door was wide open, and they were within eyesight of the front door, laying on the couch indecently exposed to me.
Okay. This is her last post, published October 26th, 2 weeks after her now-deleted video causing this controversy.
Now deleted.
Working as a driver for delivery service DoorDash, Henderson claimed she was dropping off a food order, went through the customer's door, saw him on the couch, naked. After posting her footage, she reported the incident to Oswego police as sexual harassment.
Some of the claims that she had made on social media after the fact were not in fact true.
Investigators determined that the man, drunkenly unconscious on his couch, did nothing wrong. But he found out lewd images of him were published for thousands of TikTok users to see. So police criminally charged Henderson with 2 counts related to unlawful surveillance. Court documents accuse her of recording, quote, intimate parts without consent when he had a reasonable expectation of privacy.
And to all those that have been supportive of me during this time, thank you so much.
For as talkative as she's been on TikTok until now, she had nothing to say while leaving the courthouse.
Libby, do you want to say anything about what happened?
Y'all still support this nonsense?
I mean, like, let's be real. Do y'all really still support this nonsense? After everything that news report just said, there's no way that y'all still support her. And there's no way that y'all still think that she was in the right in this situation. You literally did not do your job. And let's just say this. Let's say she didn't go into the house. Let's say that rumor that she said was a rumor is true. It's a rumor. Okay, you didn't go into the house. What you did, in fact, do, and there is proof of this, you did record him and post it. And you went to the police and lied. So yeah, that's most definitely a whole nother charge if you did not know. But y'all seen at the end of the video, she had nothing to say. It's a reason. Because she's now realizing, hey, what I did is about to get me in serious trouble. And y'all still support this. Like for more. Have fun. Good luck too.
I mean, where are these kids' brain? Oh my goodness. Knock on wood, my kids don't do these kind of things. Occasionally I talk to them. I just don't know where these kids' brains are. What gave her permission to see, or what within her head actually to say, this is a good idea. Let me take a picture or videotape the guy and post it. What makes, I don't understand. Well, until women get the same charge a man will have gotten, if true, some of these entitled, non-accountable women will continue to lie. Historically, it has been white women lying on men. Let's see this. What the F do you mean historically? How about Duke LaCrosse? Quit making shit up. Tell me you didn't take a history class and learn a thing or two. Here's a case. Emmett Till, ring a bell. Or white women that lie on Kobe, or just Google the past 5 years of women lying athletes. Okay, let me leave that alone. The whole thing I wish that could happen is the system, the law remain fair. That's all I care. When the wrong is happening, the perpetrator get punished for it. That's all I care for, not black and white. I mean, first of all, if the guy did not tell her to enter her house, she, what's the term used when you enter somebody's house without consent? Okay, that's one thing. And then to take the picture, that's another thing. I'm not in the law, so I will assume there's something for that. Taking a picture of him while he's drunk or sleeping or whatever, okay, without his consent, that's one thing. And then to post it on social media, that's another thing. So for me, I see three different things here. Entering the house without permission, taking the picture without consent, and then post it. That's a whole different ballgame. All right, let's go to the next tweet. These people with their thing with social media, I don't understand. Everything has to go on social media. Okay, so this is another thing here. A co-worker steals food and immediately gets what's coming to him. The thing is, how do you feel comfortable of eating somebody else's food? Feel comfortable. Look at him. Comfortable eating somebody else's food. But let's watch. It's only 15 seconds, okay? The person is recording. My God. Looks like a condom. I would like to see if she confronted whoever food he stole from. The person who's recording went to him and said, why are you eating my food? Oh my God. I guess he won't do that again. Instant karma. There's that here. What was this? That's a condom. Let me see if somebody responded. A condom. OMG. That's disgusting. The Rex. Okay, so that's that. You could pause and read it. Next one, and this is my last one for this video. Okay, I had this for a while. I don't think no, that's not it. Let me see. Let me pause for a second. Okay, I have another one. Okay, start punching up. That is who is in the file. It's 55 seconds. Okay.
It's all Republicans in the files. It's all Democrats in the files. No, it's all fucking elitists in the files. It's all members of the top 1% in those fucking files. You know who's not in those files? There's not a single line cook. There's not a single mechanic. There's not a single landscaper, a single construction worker, a single warehouse worker, a single call center worker. Not a single member of the working class, and I guarantee not one single illegal immigrant is in those files. You know who is in those files? The victims. And who are the victims? The victims are your children. Their fucking children. No. Why is that? Because these people target the most vulnerable, the weakest among our society. And they've been doing it for fucking generations. Start punching upwards. Stop fighting your fucking neighbor to your left and your right. It's not their fault that you are struggling. Whose fault is it?
Okay, this is one thing I've been saying in some of my videos. There's two things American will not let go. Two things. You're abusing animals, dogs specifically, okay, and children. This is the mistake that these people made. Even though they got far enough with whatever what do you call this, plan that they have by manipulating those elite people to sleep with young kids, okay, young girls that could be their kids, okay, it worked, but this is where it stopped. Alright, so let me see some of the comments here. Okay, straight facts, sick and devoid inside. Okay, let me pause that. They replayed, retweeted it. When is MAGA going to understand that this is not a fight of left versus right, but top versus we the people? Everyone who committed a crime against women, men, and children here should be in prison now. Wake the F up. Okay, Bango said this when Malone got arrested. The 1% could never win a class war, so they keep us fighting culture wars. That's pretty much it. The people in the UK, this is exactly that. That's the solution. They create chaos among the little people while they themselves enjoying life, and then they have all the system, the police to protect them. I have that image that pretty much explains that. Okay, this phenomenon is precisely why the 1% have had the rest of us fighting perpetual culture wars among each other for decades. They have 99% of us pointing fingers and screaming at each other for cultural differences to prevent us from realizing we aren't all that different. Pretty much, I agree with that. Bro literally shaved his whole body and is talking about not being the weakest. There's that. Did he really need to stand on his back porch without his shirt and went to make this video? Let me leave it as that. It's taking a different point, but it's kind of funny though. Alright, this is my last one. This has to do with the Epstein files. I had it for a while, but I skipped it by accident my last video. So there's no caption here. Alright, a white wake-up call. It was all white guys. 1 minute and 38 seconds screenshots. Okay,
didn't see any black people in the Epstein files. You didn't. White people, why can't we be honest about literally anything? You saw MJ, he was photoshopped in, and that's the entire point. No matter where on the political spectrum you lie, whether it's Noam Chomsky, Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, or Steve Bannon, whites had to take a hard look at themselves this week.
There are some, okay? There's that model, Brit, okay, who's black, and there's a black actor who's in it. I don't have a screenshot of it, but I'm aware he is in it. Okay, and some of them, this is why P-Diddy was able to do some of the things that he was able to get away with, because they were backing him up. He probably was the opposite of the Epstein, in my humble opinion. With all the things that came out, I have a feeling he was doing almost the same thing as the Epstein, but for the black community. I haven't followed it too much, but I think there is something on Netflix about it from 50 cents or something. I didn't watch it. I don't want to watch this kind of thing. I have enough idea of what's in it. But yeah. And the other thing as well, the reason I think he's still in jail is because, let me pause and let me go search what before I say what I'm saying. Oh, is that Joshua? Anthony Joshua wallet takes a hit after Jake Paul cash grab. What is this about? Okay, that's completely different story. Let me pause for a second. What was I gonna look for? Okay, yeah, I know. So what I was thinking is right. I think the reason he is still in jail, okay, when they were buying X, Twitter, when Twitter was being purchased, and I think they bought it overpriced. I think some of these people put their combined money together to buy it, and I think P-Diddy was one of them. And I searched it, and it's true. Okay, this is what I asked Google. Did P-Diddy contribute to the purchase of Twitter? The answer is yes. Sean Diddy Combs was an investor in Elon Musk's purchase of Twitter, now X, in 2022, with his firm Sean Combs Capital LLC listed among the shareholder and court documents until in 2024. Though the exact amount of his investment isn't public, Diddy was one of several wealthy individuals and entities, including Jack Dorsey and Saudi Prince Al-Wali bin Talal, okay, who helped fund the $44 billion deal. The reason I think he is still in jail, they don't plan on giving him back his money. That's what I think. Okay? That's what I think. So they were part of the scheme of what we are seeing here, to take control of form of communication. Twitter was their last one, because Twitter is where most people go and talk about news and all of that. When you listen to some of the videos that I've said in the past, how when I find out, you know, when the headline of in the UK were bashing Meghan, the first social media that I went on was Twitter. I had it since 2009, but never interacted, because I'm aware this is where news, people, you know, of all over background talk about their news. So that was the last social media platform that spread news. Okay, like for instance, when bin Laden, when they caught the thing to capture bin Laden and all of that happened, okay, the first person who tweeted about it was somewhere in the area, sort of make a reference to it. I don't remember, in Pakistan or something, and make reference to it, but it never caught up. It was until after the president came in public and said they captured him and all that, and people start paying attention to that tweet. Let me pause and search what I'm talking about. Okay, even though this is not the exact response that I was looking for, but still it making reference to Twitter. So this is what I wrote. When bin Laden was killed, what social media platform first to report it? Okay, the first social media platform to report Osama bin Laden death was Twitter. Okay, with Keith Urban tweeting the news on May 1st, 2011, before official confirmation, showcasing how social media broke the story ahead of mainstream media platform Twitter. But there was a guy in the area. All right, let me go look for it again to make sure. Even though this tells me Twitter, but let me go look for what I'm looking for. It was hard for me to actually question Google, but I found my answer. Okay, some part of it. Okay, was there someone near the area of Osama bin Laden compound who reported the incident? Okay, the answer is yes. A local Pakistani software consultant, Sohaib Athar, living near the Abbottabad compound, live tweeted event he observed during the raid on the May 2nd, 2011, including helicopter noise and a loud bang, unknowingly reporting on the Osama bin Laden operation on Twitter. Okay, so that's the answer here. This is what I was looking for. Okay, so that software engineer was saying what he was hearing, not knowing the death of Osama bin Laden was happening around his area. So he was live tweeting what he was hearing. It was on Twitter. Okay, so to get back to my original, for people who may not know, because I was aware of all of this. Okay, you could go and search, ask Google the same question that I asked here. Was there someone near the area of Osama bin Laden compound who reported the incident of Osama bin Laden on social media? The answer is yes. Okay, so this is the person in Pakistan. it was on X. So X was, well, back then it was Twitter, was the last social media where information can be spread that was needed from, you know, the MAGAs or from the GOP to prevent information from going. What they're miscalculating, several things, okay? There are some people who still believe in freedom of speech, and there are some people who took it upon themselves, despite the blockage of information, who took it upon themselves to share the actual news on their platform. Okay, even though they were losing money, they care enough to let people know what was happening. There were people who were in Trump first administration, took it upon themselves to let people know what was going on. Like this video, I have it.
I'm Miles Taylor. I served as the Chief of Staff of the Department of Homeland Security under the Donald Trump administration. I would go into the office, I would read my intelligence brief, and then it was my job to help the Department of Homeland Security to keep our country safe. What we saw week in and week out, and for me after 2.5 years in that administration, was terrifying. We would go in to try to talk to him about a pressing national security issue, cyber attack, terrorism threat. He wasn't interested in those things. To him, they weren't priorities. The president wanted to exploit the Department of Homeland Security for his own political purposes and to fuel his own agenda. The California wildfires. On a phone call with the Federal Emergency Management Agency, he told FEMA to cut off the money and to no longer give individual assistance to California. He told us to stop giving money to people whose houses had burned down from a wildfire because he was so rageful that people in the state of California didn't support him and that politically it wasn't a base for him. The policies at the border, he wanted to restart zero tolerance and separate families. He said he wanted to go further and have a deliberate policy of ripping children away from their parents to show those parents that they shouldn't come to the border in the first place. A lot of the time, the things he wanted to do not only were impossible, but in many cases illegal. He didn't want us to tell him it was illegal anymore because he knew that there were, and these were his words, he knew that he had magical authorities. He was one of the most unfocused and undisciplined senior executives I've ever encountered. I came away completely convinced based on firsthand experience that the president was ill-equipped and wouldn't become equipped to do his job effectively. And what's worse, was actively doing damage to our security. People who are still serving in this administration have said to me, just wait until the second term. It'll be no holds barred. It'll be shock and awe. We'll do what we want. Given what I've experienced in the administration, I have to support Joe Biden for president. And even though I'm not a Democrat, even though I disagree on key issues, I'm confident that Joe Biden will protect the country. And I'm confident he won't make the same mistakes as this president.
And then you have people on YouTube, lawyers. I'm sure they're making a good chunk of money with their YouTube channel because they're informing people facts with court documents and all of that. The Midas touch. And there are some other young people who actually care for their future and their kids' future, okay, who's actually telling the truth. The same amount of people who's for the MAGAs, who's misinformed, creating the chaos, there are good people who are also telling the truth. So now what happened here, why some of the truth is being absorbed, or how will I say that, the cruelty, let's say the cruelty of Trump presidency is hitting some people differently, is because African American took a step back. Because African American was always the one who's on top of everything, because they were the one who's always experiencing and feeling the pain of the mistreatment. So this time around they say, okay, the last election was as clear can be, but you people refuse to vote the right way. So African American took a step back, and now the defense that African American used to put for the rest of the country, the defense is no longer there. So it's like the barbaric mistreatment is just flowing through and the people are feeling it. Okay, so let me start this all over again. There's no caption, and this person, I think this is about the Epstein file, okay?
You didn't see any black people in the Epstein files. You didn't. White people, why can't we be honest about literally anything? You saw MJ, he was photoshopped in, and that's the entire point.
Okay, I'm gonna start it all over again. The whole point of me looking on X and all of that is because to tell you that the reason why P-Diddy is still in jail, they prosecuting him full extent, which he deserves. It's not like he's not supposed to, because Trump could have easily fill in and do his thing, but he can't do anything. Well, he can, but he refused to do because P-Diddy uses money to invest on X, on Twitter. Okay? So whatever Epstein was doing for the white group, in my humble opinion, I think P-Diddy was doing it on the black community. And we have 50 Cent who exposed some of these things on the documentary. Go on Netflix and you could go watch it. Okay? I haven't watched it, but anyway, let this play without me saying anything anymore.
Didn't see any black people in the Epstein files. You didn't. White people, why can't we be honest about literally anything? You saw MJ, he was photoshopped in, and that's the entire point. No matter where on the political spectrum you lie, whether it's Noam Chomsky, Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, or Steve Bannon, whites had to take a hard look at themselves this weekend and understand that the elites on both sides have always been complicit in creating the highly curated differences of opinion that have divided us and hold us hostage every single year on election day. All right. Doesn't matter what kind of white you are. Epstein is the brutal white reminder that the richest, whitest of us are both complicit in not only erasing their own histories, but the histories of our countries, and the histories of our country's borders, and the histories of the indigenous people that used to live within our country's borders. Everyone else but us seems to know that we turned the horrors of our ununited states into the United States, and the horrors of our original white evil island boys into the founding fathers, all while they got to use outdated concepts of race and gender to control the way that we vote, while they created ethno-states by any means necessary. Why white people are the only ones left that think religious people can be political, right? Because no religious person follows the racist class structures built by the redacted histories of the country's most racist, richest men, right? Especially the ones who created laws only to legislate their creepiest fetish. We're gonna let the same rich white political actors define the actions of our countries with racism, sexism, and xenophobia while they call it a religion and make it unsafe for us to practice these religions, right? There's not a Christian in America who would be proud to be American. And there is not a Jewish person in the world that would be proud to... You get it, guys. Have a nice day.
Anyway, let me see. Epstein is a Jew. The Jews are never white. This is also a Jew. He belongs in Edom. They are Europeans, Jews. They are white AF. Okay, let me leave that alone. I just wanted to share that with you. Alright, so that is all that I have. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. I'm probably gonna do another video. It will be for PYTE. Now, we're gonna start. If I do it tonight, probably I will. I'm gonna start with this video or this tweet about Diana. Okay? So, go on PYTE for that. Thank you for watching.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life.
You are all in this together. And if I may speak personally, we are all in this together. Because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better.